doing? Today is Monday. It is the 22nd of May. I hope you're all doing well today. I've got a very lovely little bracelet to make with you. It's very straightforward to do, very, very pretty, and using gemstones. So I'm a happy bunny. Let me know in the comments, how's your weekend been? I'm hoping the lighting here is okay, my sound's okay, and my camera's going to behave today. I have gone back to my original platform of use. So hopefully we're all okay. So good morning to Rachel. She says good morning on this bright day. It's gone a little more overcast here now, but it was sunny this morning. So everyone's had the sun cream on, sun cap on the way to school. Hopefully it'll get a little bit nicer again because say it's warm but it's overcast. Good morning to Denise. She says good morning to you all. I hope you're well. So I'm not going to spend too long today saying too much about the stone properties. I just want to get over to our wonderful website and show you the lovely things. But I'm going to wait for a few of you to come in. I think I've started slightly late this morning because I was trying to get everything ready, and I'm hoping I've got all the tools that I need. You won't need much at all today. I am going to use a big eye needle. You don't have to, but it speeds me up a little bit. I'll probably have my nylon coated pliers as well to hand just in case I need to pull that needle through. I'm going to use some cutters or some scissors just to cut my elastic, which is what we're going to use today. Don't panic. I'll show you how to make them really strong and sturdy. And I've also got a little bit of clear nail varnish, but if you've got some glue, you could use that as well. You don't have to. It's just to give you a little bit of peace of mind, because I know people are often a little bit concerned when it comes to using elastic that they might not be strong and sturdy enough. Good morning to Teresa. Hello to Lucy. Good morning to Camille. She says, good morning, Natalie. I hope you and all of the Totally Bead family are well. I haven't spoke to them much. I spoke to Kitty last week. Had a little message with Simon this morning, but yeah, I'm hoping everyone's okay. I know they've been very, very busy. Good morning to Debbie. She says it looks a bit dull here, but it's warm. Janice says good morning, Natalie and everyone from a fair and sunny Sudbury. A little bit of a tongue twister, that one, Janice. Good morning to Judith. She says, good morning, Natalie and everyone. Mina's in. She's had an order in from, it probably was about 8:30, wasn't it, Mina? You were super speedy. So I'm really hoping you enjoy these ones. Good morning to Carol. Hello to Anne. She says, good morning, Natalie and everybody. Camille says it's a bit dull and cold where she's watching from today. Hello to Linda. She says, good morning, lovely Natalie and fellow beaders. It's dull here in Watford. What's going on? We had the most lovely sunny warm weekend, and now it's gone back to, I'm putting my summer dresses on now. I've had enough. This necklace I'm wearing, I'm just testing it out because I'm going to do it for you in a couple of lives time. And obviously it's really important to test your jewellery. And I thought, oh, I'm wearing blue today and this'll go. So I'm just testing it out for you to make sure it's perfect before we put them together. Good morning to Sylvia. She says, hello from South Australia. It's 6:30 p.m. and it's chilly. Thank you so much for joining me, Sylvia. Good morning to Elaine. Hello to Angela. She says she's going to make a quick cuppa before I settle down to watch this. I'll be honest, that's why I'm a little bit late. I've made a drink, but I haven't had a chance to drink it yet. Good morning to Francis, who's saying good morning to everybody. The lovely Mandy's in. Lucy's joking. She is joking. She's saying that's it. Summer's finished now. We get 2 days of the year and that's it in the UK. It goes back to overcast and rainy and cool. Good morning to Omina says, I got them all, but I wish we had a rose quartz. We don't have a rose quartz, but we do have a very, very pretty rhodonite, which is the most beautiful pink colour. So I don't know whether we've got rose quartz rounds in at the moment, in this size anyway. I'm going to be showing you how to make these lovely little bracelets. We're using spacers and I put hematite in all of them as well. So as well as them being very, very pretty, Some of them have got, I would say, more of a maybe a bit of a masculine look. So if you're wanting to get more kind of unisex jewellery, then these are perfect as well. Good morning to Mandy, who's in sunny Wirral. Okay, so you're not far from me, Mandy. So that means the sun might be coming back my way. Pauline's in. She says, good morning, Natalie and all. She says, I think it's a bit dull here in Bedfordshire too. Amelia's in. The lovely Christiane is in. She says, good morning. It's 2 a.m. where she's watching from. Good morning to Michelle. She says, good morning. I've had rain here this morning in Cambridgeshire. And Joanne is saying good morning, and she's also making a cuppa. So go get your cuppers. I'm going to take you onto the website now. You might want to hold off on your cuppa until I've been on the website, because you don't want to miss out. And I feel these are going to be popular today because they're a really easy make. They're really comfortable to wear. And if you sell your jewellery, everyone's going to want one of these. They're just really nice, quick, lovely little makes. So over we go to the website. We're on totallybeads.co.uk, and you can find how to make jewellery in the learning category here. You can scroll down and you can see our video tutorials here, and you can keep going down as well, and you'll find them just here. So lots of ways still to get into our video tutorial category. We have moved things around a little bit, so don't worry if you're thinking, where's everything gone? It's all here, it's all new and improved. So today, if I click into the video tutorials, it will take us to our beautiful bracelets, which is that Kiara? They're the gemstone bracelets, and they're just here for you. Very, very lovely. Let me scroll down so you can see the beauties we have today. Now, they are all slightly different prices. They've all been reduced. I think there's £1 off all of them. So we've got a beautiful amethyst, which is £11.75 for your kit. I think you're going to make 4 bracelets up. You might vary the design a little bit, but you're getting 2 different gemstones in each of your kits. So amethyst will be the predominant one in this kit, but everyone's going to have hematite with them as well. You've got a gorgeous moss agate, which is only £7.50. Again, you're making about 4 bracelets out of this. And the bracelet, it's elastic, so it is going to stretch, but I would suggest these are about 7 inches in this design that I'm going to show you today. If you need to make them longer, just add in extra gemstone beads. We've also got a gorgeous rhodonite for you, which is £12.25. We've got a snowflake obsidian, which is £10.75. We've got the gorgeous tigerite, which is £9, and we've also got a white howlite, which is £8.50. Now, these are beautiful natural gemstones. You're going to get a lot for your money in this kit because you're going to be getting everything else you need to make this design. So I'll show you in the amethyst exactly what you're getting in your kit. So you're going to be getting your amethyst gemstone round beads. They're going to be 6mm in size. You're also going to be getting your 6mm hematite round beads. Those beautiful bead caps, these ones are in a gorgeous gold colour. You're going to be getting your elastic, and we're using the 0.6 elastic. And that's going to be enough to not only make the full bracelet, but also bring it back through your bracelet to make it extra sturdy. So you can see here all the different products that you're getting in your kit, and I think you'll agree it's a bargain for what you're getting. So with amethyst, it is a crystalline quartz, and the colour of amethyst tends to be quite a pale lilac all the way to a very beautiful deep purple. Again, you're getting natural gemstones here, so your colours may vary from gemstone to gemstone. Chakras, it is your third eye chakra, I think, and your crown chakra. Of course, it is the birthstone of February, and it's linked with the zodiacs: Virgo, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. It's good for everybody. Everybody loves an amethyst. I have a school summer fair coming up for my little one, and I've donated a prize for the raffle, and the prize I made was a pendant, and I thought, well, what gemstone is everybody gonna love? So I picked an amethyst because I think it's universally loved. So it's very good in terms of its healing properties that are attributed with it. It's meant to be good for spiritual awareness, inner peace and healing, so it'll supposedly heal your body, mind and your soul. It's lovely for meditation, balance, relieving stress, and it's good for communication as well. It's been a gemstone that's been loved for thousands of years. This one is your amethyst, making about 4 bracelets up, and that's £11.75. If I talk too much about gemstones, just tell me to move on. They are quick makes today, so I can afford to spend a little bit of time with you discussing them. This one here is your beautiful moss agate. So you're getting, again, your hematite rounds in there, your moss agate gemstone rounds at 6mm, your bead caps and your elastic. So all you're going to need is some scissors or cutters and maybe a little bit of glue. A big eye needle is often helpful too. So this is considered to be the stone of new beginnings, and it's all about attracting abundance. So it's good for prosperity, success, healing, restoration. It's good for protection of the earth as well, because of course it's green and mossy and it's got those beautiful little plant-like inclusions in them. It's meant to be good for creativity and confidence and strength, and also development of new friendships as well. So lots of lovely properties attributed to this moss agate here. Your chakra is your heart chakra, I think, and it's also linked to the zodiac of Virgo. So again, you can see all of the products that you're getting in your kit there, and we're using the 0.6 elastic for those beautiful bracelets. So the moss is only £7.50. We've also got the rhodonite. Now this is the most beautiful pink colour. It's so pretty, look at it. And I think it looks really nice actually against that hematite, and also those kind of gold coloured spaces, which are really pretty. So your rhodonite is a stone of compassion and emotional balance. It's meant to ground energy, and it's also meant to help you reach your highest potential. It's heart chakra, obviously, because it's pink, and it's linked with the zodiac of Taurus. It's meant to be good for calmness, self-confidence, gratefulness, elegancy, courtesy and tact. Again, beautiful properties attributed to this stone if that's something you buy into, which I definitely do. So your gorgeous, gorgeous rhodonite here is just £12.25 to make up 4 very gorgeous bracelets. We have the snowflake obsidian. So obviously it's got all those healing properties of obsidian, but because it's snowflake, you've got that extra little bit of calming and soothing as well. Really gorgeous little snowflake patterns in this. So it's predominantly black in colour, but you've got those greys and those whites coming through. Very, very pretty, and it is your Virgo zodiac, I think, with this one, and it's good for balance during changes, transformation and fulfillment. Very, very pretty. This one is just £10.75. So again, everything you're going to be needing in your kit for that. It's paired with the hematite as well. All of them are with the hematite rounds, which are 6mm. So your hematite is an iron oxide crystal, and it's mainly coloured red and kind of brown. I think Native Americans used to ground it up and use it as kind of face paints and things. And that's where it gets its name from, because it's hematite. So heme is blood, as far as I'm aware. It's your base chakra. It's linked with lots of different zodiacs, mainly Aries and Aquarius. And it's good for focus, concentration, willpower, reliability, courage, confidence, optimism, trust, balance, stability, and of course protection. And that's why it was used in lots of kind of war paints and battles and things like that. It's very, very good for grounding, and that's going to be properties that are included in every single one of your bracelets today. We've got the gorgeous tiger eye. So obviously it's called tiger eye because it's got that beautiful sheen that gives it kind of the look of the eye of the tiger. Of course, I've paired this with the little gold spaces as well, just playing around with that magnifying glass there just to have a little look at the absolute beautiful colour and sheen on these tiger eye beads. But I'm a little bit cautious because I do know that playing around with that often makes my sound go a little bit funny, so I'll try not to touch it too much. So you've got that beautiful silky luster with it, and it's good for confidence and inner strength. If you're trying to pull out that inner tiger in you, your solar plexus is the chakra that this gemstone's linked to, and it's good linking with the zodiac of Capricorn as well. Don't feel if it's not your zodiac you can't have it. You can wear them whenever you want, whichever one you're most drawn to. So of course it's good for protection, clear thinking, personal empowerment. It's supposed to be good for integrity, willpower, practicality, grounding, power, courage, and grace. So lots of lovely properties linking in with the gorgeous tiger eye elastic bracelets for just £9. An absolute bargain. And then lastly, but by no means least, we've got the gorgeous white howlite as well, which is £8.50. Now, your white howlite, it's kind of like a chalky white colour, but you've also got those dark veins running through the stone. So you've got kind of greys and blacks mixed through them. You often get this dyed. It's a beautiful kind of imitation stone. So a lot of the time you'll see kind of turquoise howlite, which is a beautiful colour. It can kind of represent lots of other stones as well, but this is it in its pure beautiful form. So the meaning of howlite is linked to patience, and it's linked with the Gemini zodiac, and it's good for inspiration, creativity and artistic expression. And because it's a nice creative one, I think I'm probably going to play with that today. I'll probably demo with a couple. I might do the rhodonite and the white howlite because they're just so lovely. I'm gonna have time, I think, to make both of them, even though I've spoken to you a little bit about all those gorgeous properties. So lots to choose from today, a big range of colours, and I hope you will like them too, just as much as I do. I'm going to just scroll back through the comments and see if I've missed anything. I think I've missed quite a lot. So Pauline was in. I said hello, I hope, to Amelia and Christy. Hello to Michelle. Hello to Joanne. Camille is saying, question, you're the gem expert. What is the difference between jade and jadeite? As far as I'm aware, it's just a different name for them. I could be wrong on that. I'm not really the gem expert, to be honest. I know you get lots of really good you can get some very high quality jade. You can get it in various different colours as well. I have actually just been making something with a little bit of jadeite. I made beautiful bracelets as a gift for my friend who's a bride. So her bridesmaids are going to be wearing that, and some sapphire as well. But I don't know too much, Camille. I will talk to you about that in a little bit more detail at another time. I'll just check I've got it right. Thank you for that, Lucy. Lucy has shared the link for you here today. So we are on totalbeads.co.uk/Facebook-tutorials/Kiara/gemstones-bracelets. Just click the link or just head over to the learning tutorial category because that's a mouthful. Michelle says, good morning all. I've made a few of your makes recently. It's the first time catching you live, so hi. Hello, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us. Where are you watching from? Trish says, good morning, ladies. It's pronounced Kiera. Is that right? Okay. I suppose it depends, one, if it's your name and where you're from and how you pronounce it, but we'll call it Kiera, I think. Kiera. We'll go for Kiera. Good morning to Rachel. She says, my niece is called Kiera and she pronounces it Kira. Okay, I'm going to call it Kira then. We'll call it Kira. I think that's right. Is it Kira? Kira. Yeah, it's a very pretty name. I'm not sure what it means. You'll notice in a few weeks I've started naming them. So I've been trying to find, like, if it's this one, for example, and it's very colourful, what means kind of names mean in summer and things like that. We always tend to give it a female name, so I'll know how to pronounce it because I'll be coming up with the names now. Lucy says it's a great bargain today. Good morning to Tracy. Lucy says she loves learning about all the different gemstones meanings. You know, people have very various different takes on what a gemstone means. Obviously, you've got the kind of science and geology behind it, so we can know exactly where they come from, what it's made out of, and what kind of compounds kind of created, things like that. But in terms of the kind of spiritual properties that people attribute to them, you can attribute anything to any gemstone. These are just the ones that are most kind of linked. When I tell you it means this, it means that. But you can manifest any properties you want into them. And I always think just go for the ones that you're drawn to. So if, for example, I'm looking at these, and usually I'd say, well, I love amethyst, but actually today I'm really drawn to the rhodonite. They might be the properties that I want and that I need. So go for the ones that you just like the look of. Good morning to Phoenix Creation. She says, morning all. Hi, Nat. Meg says hi too. She's currently, that's the dog, by the way. She's currently laid on my knee, on the her nose is on the iPad. Hi, Meg. Hi. How are you? Stop eating the beads. And get your head out the washing machine as well. I know you were doing that last week. She says, a quick peek today as she's got to move early as they've got the vets. Oh, it's just a check-up, I think. Well, hopefully, Meg, it's fine. There'll be treats. I won't say those words, actually. I won't say the word that begins with a W either, just in case she's out the door. Good morning to Patricia. She says, good morning, Natalie and Bead and family. I'm trying to catch up on everything. Since having my cataract done, I've only found out today that I've got to have my other one done, and I'm so frustrated. I was hoping to get back into my kits. Oh, sweetheart. Patricia, we hope you're all right. Once they're done, and you need your eyes, don't you? You've got to be able to see what you're doing. So just rest up. Just keep saving the videos that you like and get back to them when you're ready. We're all here. We're not going anywhere. And if you need any help when you come to do them, Patricia, just send us a message and we can go through any bits again for you. Phoenix says, there's a lag here. You're speaking, but the words don't match what we see. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I'll stop talking and we'll just get down to the make. Hopefully that's okay. Everyone's sending you lots and lots of love, Patricia. Lucy says, oh dear, they've all just fallen into my basket. Mina's asking question, how much would you sell these bracelets for, please? Right, when it comes to selling, lots of people have different rules. My rule would be add up your materials for what you would need to replenish your stock with. So if you've paid what X amount for your bracelet kit and you're getting 4 bracelets out of them, then divide it by 4. Then add your time. So give yourself an hourly rate, Nina. Have a little look at what an hourly rate is in terms of minimum wage, and then work out how long it's taking you to do that. And that should be your cost. Some people say times by 2, times by 3. I personally just charge for my materials plus my time. But don't forget, you might have additional fees if you're providing postage, packaging, a stall fee, insurance, all of those things. So don't sell yourself short. I'm not going to say sell it for this because that's entirely up to you. But I would easily say depending on the gemstone you're using, a gemstone bracelet for me, I think it should be, if it's chips, I'd say probably maybe £7. Rounds, it does depend on your gemstone, and it depends on how long it takes you to make things. Have a little look as well at what your competitors are, so to speak. So have a little look online, but do bear in mind, people make things all over the place, and cost of living is very different, and things are often kind of mass produced. You're making handmade goods here, so don't undersell yourself. If somebody says that's too expensive, it's not. It's just unfortunately not in their budget at the moment. And maybe you could work out a different design or something else to suit their budget. But don't undersell yourself, Mina. Lucy says, I knew I should have watched with my eyes closed. So is your basket full, is it, Lucy? Thank you so much. Tutu says, hello to everybody. I've still got lag, which is a shame, but I'll go down on the mat now and we'll start making. So hopefully it will all catch up. Okay, so Kira is an Irish name, says Trish. Thank you very much for that. Michelle says, I'm normally in Cheshire, but she's on holiday in Madeira at the moment. Oh, you poor thing. Have a lovely, lovely time. I'm so sorry I've said that word, Phoenix Creations. I think Karen's fuming at me because we've got doggies like looking at things now that I've said a certain word beginning with T. Sorry. Good morning to Joanne. Okay, so Phoenix Creations has said that it's just hairs and my lag's caught up. It does sometimes, if I'm on the website, kind of lag a little bit. Right, I'm going to just check I've not missed any more questions, and I'm going to get down on the mat and show you these bracelets because we're going to run out of time. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it's doing that thing again. So it's showing the camera for me. I think I might have to come out again and go back in. I said, I'm just going back to my normal one today. We'll try it on this again. If it's still playing up, then we will revert back to the other browser because for some reason it's not liking it anymore. My camera's probably a little bit off kilter now and it's frozen. Are we back? Are we good? Are we back? There's a little bit of a delay with my hands. Let's see if it catches up. And if it doesn't, I will swap browsers. Is that looking clear enough? Is it a little bit fuzzy? Okay, we see it. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Camille saying Monday morning. It does it every day for me now. Right, okay, this is your mops. I'm going to really quickly show you them. That picture looks not as good as I'd like it, so hopefully you can see these gorgeous little mossy inclusions. Do excuse my poorly thumb there. So you can see these gorgeous green colours, but they are different. Every single one is different, which just proves it's a beautiful natural gemstone. You've got those gorgeous little moss-like inclusions running through it. This one's perfect example, if I can get a bit of focus on that. It's like a tiny world, a little ecosystem going on inside it. Really, really pretty. We've got the beautiful snowflake obsidian as well. So you can see it's a black stone, and then you've got these gorgeous little kind of snowflake type patterns that just run across them. Again, every single one is unique and is different. And that's why if you do sell your jewellery, you can afford to sell them at, a good price, because they're all, these have taken thousands of years to make. They're gorgeous. This is your amethyst. Most of those are pretty uniform in terms of colour saturation, but again, these can go from a very kind of, you can get pale light amethysts, you can get very deep purpley colours. Really, really gorgeous. Tiger eye. Look at the sheen on them. They're just absolutely stunning. Oh, thank you so much. You're all being very patient if things are going a little bit laggy. Camille says she likes the white howlite being a Gemini. This is your tiger eye. So, of course, I popped that with the little gold spaces because that's bringing out that gold sheen. On the silvery coloured ones, this is your white howlite, just for you, Camille. Again, there is a white kind of chalky coloured stone, but you've got those lovely little veins running through each one, giving it that kind of marbled looking effect. All with the beautiful hematite as well. And then we have this gorgeous rhodonite. look at the pinks on there. Again, varying in colours. You've got like little bits of brown. You've got very, very pinky ones. Really, really gorgeous. So when you are wearing your elasticated bracelets, when you're putting them on, when you're taking them off, we don't stretch them out. We roll them down. So I'm just going to put it over my ring and I'm just rolling that down onto my wrist. So you can see we've got that ability to, stretch it out so it will fit comfortably around most wrists. But do just kind of be cautious with them. Roll them on and off. Okay, so I'm starting with 50 centimeters of my 0.6 elastic. It is probably about 20 inches, I think. And what I'm going to do before I start is I'm just running it through my fingers and giving it a little stretch. It's frozen again. It's back again. Oh, camera, I don't know what you're doing lately. So I'm just stretching that out. Now, the reason why I'm stretching it out is obviously elastic's going to stretch, and that's why we love it. That's why it's versatile for so many people, because it's comfortable to wear and it fits most sizes. But what I'm doing is I'm stretching it first, because after a little while, when I've put it on and taken it off and put it on and taken it off, it's going to stretch out. So by stretching it out first, it's going to keep its size a little bit. It's going to be more true to size. My hands are still stretching that elastic when it's not. That's really weird. Okay, I'm going to take my gemstone beads first. I think I'm going to use about 22 gemstones to begin with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find where I've put my bead stopper, which is just here. Oh, what is going on? Right, do bear with me. I'm gonna give up with Chrome and I'm gonna go into Firefox. Let's just take a moment to enjoy the beautiful properties of the gemstones. Let's get the calming and the soothing. I really just don't know what's happening with it at all at the moment. It does seem to be just on my end. And I don't really know how to fix it. All right, let's join. Do apologise, it is a quick make. I'm hoping this will be better. Fingers crossed. Okay. So I'm going to pop a bead stopper. Let me just make sure that there's no feedback there. You okay sound-wise? Angela says, sorry, but you're hilarious. You just love you. Thanks very much for laughing at me in my hour of need. Right, I'm popping my bead stopper on the end. It's just to stop them floating off. And I'm going to add as many gemstones as you want on it. I'm going to try and get a 7-inch bracelet without the stretch, really. So I'm just going to thread on 22 of my 6mm round gemstones to begin with. Again, if you want to make it a little bit bigger. Oh, what an unusual shape. That one's not quite round, but I think I love it all the more because it's a little bit more unique. So, you can see here, this is why we've got gorgeous natural gemstones. They will all be slightly different. That one's got gorgeous little black little parts to it. You've got really different kind of coloration going through them, and they're really, really beautiful. They also feel quite nice and cool to touch as well, so perfect for the summer. A gemstone will always be cold to touch, which I think, just gives me, I mean, I wear gemstones all year round, but they are nice little summer bracelets. So I'm just threading this onto my elastic. The 0.6 is really good because it's strong, it's stretchy, but I'm also going to be able to run this back through. Now, the hole in my gemstones aren't overly large, but that elastic will fit back through them. And that's just going to make sure that It's extra sturdy. I do know when we've spoke about it on the lives, a lot of people kind of shy away from using elastic. You don't have to use elastic on this make. If you want to add a clasp onto it, then you can use whatever else you want to. But I think they're appealing to people. They make really good gifts because you've got that extra stretch in them. They're really comfortable, easy wear and easy to put on, and suitable for all ages as well. So I've added on my gemstones. I'm assuming there's 22 on there. And now I'm going to get my gorgeous spacers out. So with the rhodonite, I'm using the gold coloured spacers. If I can show you them with a little bit of focus, I'll put one way and one the other. You hopefully can see they're like little flowers. They're really, really cute, and they are curved. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put two on. I'm putting the first one on. So I'm just making sure that elastic is running through the hole in the center, because you've got lovely little cutout holes as well. I want to go through that central hole. And because the cap is kind of curved, it's going to face against that bead. So I'm putting it on that way. Joanne says they're all so gorgeous, it's difficult to choose. Hi Cap, how you doing? I'm very pleased. Joanne says that the mat's looking nice and clear. I think I'm just going to have to stick with this one. They are doing work in the area, but I don't think it's that. I don't know why it just boots off my camera. I'm going to put another one on. And this time I'm putting it facing outwards. So it's going to go in the opposite direction. And the reason I'm putting it on going that way is now I'm going to add my hematite on. So you're going to get your 6mm rounds in your hematite as well. Hematite, whatever you want to pronounce it as. And I'm going to place on 3 of those. So this time my bead cap is facing that way, so when I put that bead on, it's going to fit nicely up against each of those gemstones. So I'm adding just the 2 little spacer bead caps, and then I'm adding 3 of my hematite. So I'm going to create this pattern, and I'm just going to have these in the center so they'll fit at the top of my wrist nicely. So once I've popped those 3 on, I'm just going to get another little bead cap, and again I'm going to face that against the stone. So I'm going to go through the hole in the middle. I've picked up 2 there, I think. Yeah, I have. And it's going to go all the way down and just sit against facing that bead. And then another one which is going to face in the opposite direction, because I'm going to add another one of my predominant colour gemstones. So another one of the rhodonite in this case. Threading that one on through the elastic, and then another bead cap facing towards the stone. I mean, if you put them on the wrong way, it's really not an issue. It's so easy to make these. You can just slide them back off again. And then going to take another little bead cap, and I'm facing it away. So when I add on my next 3 hematite, and I do think the hematite go with all of these gemstones. They look beautiful against all of them. But again, you know, you've got something here that, if I show you, say, the tiger eye one, you know, you've got quite, this one's the snowflake as well. You've got quite masculine looking jewellery there as well. So, you know, this can be for anyone, any age, anyone you want. So I'm putting my next 3 on there. Let me just move these out the way. Hopefully you can see that okay. So I'm just going to carry on with that pattern. So I'm going to get another of my 2 little spacers out. Diane saying my problem's where to put the knot because it always shows. this doesn't tend to show. Like, I'm looking here thinking, where is it? I think it's hiding next to the bead cap, but you can't see there where that knot is. Excuse me. And we're gonna do small but sturdy knots, so they should hide quite nicely. So again, bead cap on towards and one away, and I'm just going to finish off with one more little gemstone of my main colour. So in total for my bracelet, I had 22, 23, 24 of the main colour gemstone, so in this case the rhodonite, and I've got 6 pieces of my hematite brown beads. I'm going to leave my bead stopper on, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in with a large eye needle. So you'll see I've cut an awful lot of elastic there. You know, I said it was about 50 centimetres, about 20 inches, and the reason I've cut it long is because I'm going to run this elastic back through the bracelet. So I'm just going to thread that through my large eye needle. It's not a very long needle, but it's got that large eye in the middle, so it's really good for this type of project. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to thread it back through those beads. Now, if, like me, your hands sometimes get a little bit hot under the lights, what I do tend to find is if I just take my nylon pliers, I can give myself a little bit of grip and just pull that through. Just going to keep my bead stopper on while I do it, because I don't want it to come loose. And I'm just going to pull that round. We should be able to tighten it up. It's worked every single time I've done it, but we'll wait and see. When I really want to prove to you how easy elastic is and how secure it is to use, that's when it tends to not go right for me, isn't it? So I'm going to just hold on to that elastic with the needle, and I'm just going to thread it all the way, running it back through, right through in a circle through my beads. So I'm using that 0.6 elastic, but it will still run through twice in the hole on the beads. And all I'm doing occasionally is just picking up the nylon coated pliers just to give myself a little bit of grip. So if you're struggling with dexterity problems, or it's a sunny day, or you're feeling a little bit warm, which, let's face it, we all get that occasionally, don't we? Just gonna give it a little pull through. My elastics come out there, so I'm just gonna pull it with my fingers. You don't have to use a large eye needle, just find it's much easier, really. So again, just opening that needle to thread it back in, and back through the hole in my gemstones. I know, Joanne, she's saying, Natalie with a needle. If it's a long eye needle, I don't really feel like it counts. Lucy said, I just bought all of them. Shh, don't tell my other half. We won't tell. It's a secret amongst friends. And don't forget, you've got that little discount on them as well. So not only are you going to be able to make up 4 gorgeous bracelets, you can change up that design if you need to get the most out of your kits. But you're also getting £1 off each one today, so a bargain. Right, so I've run it through all of the gemstones. Just going to stop when I get to the cap just to show you. Now I'm going to run it through the cap. I'm just making sure I'm running it back through that central hole in the middle. So what will happen is you've got, if I can hold this up, you can see it's got that gorgeous little flower design. We want to make sure that we're going through that central hole and not one of the ones at the side. So I'm just bringing it back through. So I tend to just do one at a time when I get to the bead gaps, just to make sure that I'm running right through the centre. When I'm going through my gemstones, I can do a couple at a time. So again, through the centre hole in the bead cap. You can do one at a time, you can do a few. If you feel like you just need a little bit more kind of grip, then use those nylon coated pliers. Any pliers will probably do. I just feel if you use your nylon coated ones, you're less likely to bend or break your needle. Making sure I'm going through that centre hole. I'm not through the centre there, so I'm just taking it back out and going through the centre. Back through my hematite. Through those little bead caps. Doing two at a time there, so I'm just going to check. I'm going through the centre holes. And then back through the gemstone. So I'm finishing when I've got my two ends together. So they're both coming out at the same point. And now I'm just going to give it a little pull, just to pull those beads together. You can take your bead stopper off at this point if you want. I'm just going to pull to make it taut. So pulling through that elastic and getting that nice shape. And so I want them close together, these two beads here. So I'm just giving it a gentle pull. So I've got that lovely round bracelet shape. And Mina says, I use 0.8 and I only use once. Well, this with the 0.6 Mina is going to give you that chance to run it all the way through again. That's going to mean I've got 2 strands of elastic now, which is going to be really, really strong. So when I'm rolling them on and off my wrist, because we do roll them like so, it's just going to give me that extra support. If I'm pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling on them, they're going to be a lot more sturdy, because I've got those 2 strands running through. Good morning, Irish says, good morning. I almost missed you again. I must start by putting my alarm on and then I don't miss you. We are 10 a.m. UK time, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. So I've now got my 2 pieces of elastic coming out next to each other. Now it's good that I've cut this size, because although this is probably about 7 inches without a stretch, I've got these lovely long pieces still, which is going to make me be able to tie a surgeon's knot really easy. So to do a surgeon's knot, I'm going to move these right out the way because I want you to be able to see. And it is clear elastic, so sometimes it's hard to see, but I'm going to talk you through it. So I'm holding one in my left hand and one in my right hand. I'm going to cross the left strand over the right, and I'm going to just bring all the way through that middle and pull down nice and tight. I'm then going to take the right strand and I'm going to cross that over the left, and I'm going to bring that through the middle and pull it down. And now I'm going to do 2 little wraps on either side. So I'm going to take my left again, I'm going to cross that over the right, hopefully you can see, and I'm going to bring this through the middle once, through the middle twice. So it's looking like that. And now I'm going to give it a pull all the way down, nice and tight, and that is my surgeon's knot. Nina says, I'm definitely going to try this. Teresa says, I like using 2 rounds of elastic for bracelets. I think it feels firmer and holds better. It gives you a nice shape with it as well, Teresa. Judith says, I've started using a thinner elastic yarn and going round twice, and it's working well, so thank you for that tip. You're most welcome. Okay, Diane, you were a little bit concerned before about seeing that knot. I think you could probably do that next to the bead cap if you wanted to. I've just done one down, and I don't think you're going to be able to see that really when it's cut. What I am going to do is, just to give myself that extra bit of peace of mind, I'm going to pop a tiny little bit of glue on it. So I'm going to not use glue, I'm going to use a clear nail varnish. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to separate out those beads, and I'm just going to dab a tiny little bit over that knot. Just a little bit, and that's going to seal it. Now you can use whatever glue you want. If you've got like a hypo cement, that's really good because it usually has a tiny, teeny like needle tip nozzle on it. If you've got one of like the 6000 type glues, you can use that too. You can use any glue you want, but I find a little bit of clear nail varnish does the trick because it's got the brush on it as well. So what I tend to do is, when my nail varnish has gone a little bit clumpy or it's running out at the end, any will do. I'm not showing brands, any will do. I'll just pop a little bit on. And now all I need to do is wait for that to dry. So if you want, you can kind of peg it up so that glue will run down onto the knot. And then once that's dry, you just need to come in and cut it. So here's one I've made earlier. I've only just put the glue on this one, so I don't know if it's fully dry. I used a very clumpy glue. So I've got my two little ends here. So you have knotted both strands of the elastic. You've got one length of elastic which has come through as usual, and then it's ran back through. So it's just two ends of your elastic that you've got, but it's ran through twice. So you're just going to knot those two ends just as you would if you just ran it through the one style. But running it back through twice is just give you essentially those two strands to just firm it up a little bit. Yeah, Angela, in true Blue Peter style, here's one I've made earlier. Teresa says, after I glue the knot, I like to pull it through the bead to hide it. Yeah, if you've got a large enough hole, you can, let's see, we've got a few minutes left. Let's see if we can take that through. So what you would do is, if you're running it back through, that gives you, again, a little bit of extra sturdy because you're not going to be cutting right next to the knot. So let's do it this way. Let's thread my elastic back through my large eye needle. We should be able to get that back through again, to be honest. It's run through twice, but we should be able to get through again. So I'm just going to hold on to that bead. And pull it back through. It does go through again. So the joys of a 0.6, actually going to run it through a couple more. So I'm just moving it away from that knot. So you can cut it there. And then I'll do the same on the other strand. So you can run that back through the next couple of beads, the next one bead, whatever you like. I'll just do it through one for now. So I'm bringing that elastic strand back through the bracelet beads. Let's make sure I'm going back through the center of the bead cap. So I'm bringing that elastic just away from the knot. So you can see my knot is here. If the hole was wide enough in my beads, I might be able to pull it and get the knot to sit inside the bead. I have done there, I've pulled it back out the other side. So I'm just going to pull that knot through the bead a little bit. And then you won't see that knot at all. going to just bring that back through a little bit more, just to make sure we've got that away from the knot. So you can see now, if I give it a little pull, my close, that knot should just fit inside that bead there. And now all I need to do is come in with my scissors or my cutters and just give it a little trim. So I'm just going to cut this one here. So I'm between my hematite bead and my bead cap. And I'm just going to make sure that all I'm doing is cutting off the extra tail of the tiger tail. I'm not cutting through my bracelet. And then here I'm going to just trim nice and close up. And my bracelet is done. So I've got those 2 strands of elastic running all the way through. I've knotted with a surgeon's knot. I've added a dab of glue. I've pulled it back through again, just away from the knot. And I've managed to push my knot inside one of those beads. So you're not going to see it at all. When I put it on, I'm going to roll it down my wrist. And I've got a very pretty bracelet. Dan says, thanks, makes sense. Thank you very much. If you don't want to bring it back through, and you can do, you could always just trim it off here, right next to your knot. That's no problem. Just make sure that glue's dried. So I've got lots of beautiful bracelets for you today in the Kira design. We've got a gorgeous amethyst colour. We have got our beautiful moss agate colour here, all with the hematite. We've got our beautiful rhodonite, which is what I've just demoed with for you. I've got a beautiful snowflake obsidian one. We've got the tiger eye, and we've also got the white howlite. Lots of gorgeous colours. They do vary in price. You're getting your bead caps, your 0.6 elastic, your 6mm gemstone rounds, your hematite in every single kit. You're going to be able to make up about 4 bracelets. You might just want to change the design around. It's entirely up to you how you want to do them. They're really simple makes. They should take you about 10 minutes to do. And I think hopefully everybody's going to love them. And that was it for today. So Judith says, thanks, Natalie. Great tutorial. You're most welcome. Lucy says, very pretty. The only thing that scares me with this make is the elastic, but I'm going to give it a go. I use this technique and I don't find that I've had any problems with them breaking. Stretch out your elastic first and then it's going to stay true to size as well. Let me know how you get on with them. Hopefully I've converted you. Oh, you're all being very lovely. Thank you so much. Tutu says, very nice. Michelle says, lovely bracelets. We'll have a go at making them once I'm home. I hope you have a wonderful holiday, Michelle. Camille says, very pretty. Thank you, Natalie. Have a lovely day wherever you are and stay safe, everybody. Angela says, I think taking the elastic away from the knot is a good idea, even with the glue. It just gives you that extra peace of mind, doesn't it? Just make sure you do kind of, when you're pulling that elastic round for the first time, pull it nice and tight. So when you pull it back through the odd little bead, there's still no gaps. Those beads are sitting nice together, even when you've stretched them onto a wrist. Ruth says, thank you very much. Teresa says, stack them. Yes, absolutely, Teresa. They look gorgeous stacked. In fact, I'm going to just put them all on now and I'll show you how lovely they look stacked. Iris says, thank you. I do watching your tutorials. Thank you so much. That's lovely. I'm not paying any attention to what order in terms of colour that I'm putting these on, but I am going to put a few on and show you how gorgeous they look when they're stacked. So Mina, that's also a thought for you. If you're wanting to sell them, maybe you could do like a 3 for 15 or whatever it is. Shall I put them down? I'll put you down on the mat just dead quick so I can show you how lovely they look when they're stacked. Look at them. They're so pretty. Love them. So that was it for today. I'm going to be back with you on Friday. Yes, I'm going to be back with you on Friday. She says with uncertainty, but definitely am. I'm going to be doing some lovely necklaces with you on Friday. And then the Monday after that, I think it's the 29th, that will be a bank holiday again, the last one. So we will be off on Monday, but we'll be back with you after that and we will keep you posted. Lucy says, thank you so much. More gemstone makes, please. Might go and do something coming up for you now, Lucy. Joanne says, lovely tutorial, Natalie. Thank you. Have a fantastic day. Mina says, thank you. I'll definitely be making lots. Well, I should hope so, Mina, given how many you've bought. Elaine says, thank you. She's going to give it a try. And Denise says, thank you. Tracy says goodbye to you all. On Leanne. She says, oh shoot, I've missed everything. We'll have to replay. As soon as I've finished, you can watch us back on YouTube, Leanne. We did have a little minute where the camera didn't want to play, but it seemed to fix it. Well, I seemed to fix it pretty quick, so do bear with me. Mina says she's going to go and do her bracelets. Tracy says thank you. Oh, and Leanne was busy making components with the bracelet, so she didn't notice the time. Well, my lovelies, have a wonderful week. I will see you on Friday and take care of yourselves.